Good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the Human Services Advisory Commission. Could we start with a roll call, please?
Chair Lurie.
Here.
Vice Chair Jung.
Here.
Commissioner Scheer.
Here.
Commissioner Cooley.
Here.
Commissioner Jameson.
Here.
Commissioner Rowe.
Here.
Commissioner Hill.
Here.
Chair Lurie, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. This is a time reserved for public comment. Citizens may address members of the Human Services Advisory Commission regarding non-agendized items. Public testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Do we have any public comment cards?
Chair Lurie, no, we do not.
All right. So moving forward, I wonder if I can get a motion to approve our September 25th, 2025 regular meeting minutes.
I move to approve our regular meeting minutes from September 25th, 2025.
Second.
And a roll call.
Chair Lurie.
Yes.
Vice Chair Jung.
Yes.
Commissioner Hill.
Yes.
Commissioner Cooley.
Yes.
Commissioner Scheer.
Yes.
Commissioner Rowe.
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson.
Yes.
And before we move forward, let me just say, Commissioner Hill, we're all thinking about you and wishing you a speedy recovery and hope you're up here on the dais with us very soon. So take good care.
Thank you.
This next agenda item feels like a little bit of a deja vu moment. We need to elect a new vice chair. First off, I want to thank Vice Chair Jung for her service over the past 2 years as vice chair. You certainly bailed me out a couple of times when I think I had bronchitis or laryngitis and you needed to step up. So thank you for your service and continued support on the commission. And with that, I will take nominations for a new vice chair.
Mr. Chair, I would nominate Commissioner Cooley.
Second.
All right. Any other nominations? All right. And then how do we do this? Is it a roll call vote? Okay. All right, let's do a roll call vote on Commissioner Cooley becoming Vice Chair Cooley.
Chair Lurie.
Yes.
Commissioner Jung.
Yes.
Commissioner Rowe.
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson.
Yes.
Commissioner Cooley.
Yes.
Commissioner Scheer.
Yes.
Commissioner Hill.
Yes.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Cooley.
Congratulations.
I'd just like to go by VC Lee if I could. That'd be cool. Thanks.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you. With that said, our second agenda item is on housing rehab programs, and we will have Armando Oliveras and Mario Alvarez come up to the podium, please.
Chair Lurie, members of the Commission, thanks for having us this evening. My name is Mario, this is Armando, and we are going to be talking this evening about the housing rehabilitation programs through the City of Scottsdale. Now, the housing rehabilitation programs are broken up into 3 categories. They are the Major Housing Rehabilitation Program, the Roof Repair and Replacement Program, and the Emergency Repair Program. Now, the purpose of the programs is to administer community development block grant funds to provide safe and sanitary living conditions to families who meet the low and moderate income guidelines. Starting with the Roof Repair and Replacement Program, the goal of the program is to repair dangerous and compromised roof systems that can adversely affect other systems of a home. If left untreated, they could affect the support systems as well as the foundation, so we want to catch these early. This program is a grant, so the resident is under no obligation to repay. It is a maximum of $20,000 per client on a one-time basis. And repairs are limited to severely damaged and dangerous and leaking roof systems. Here's an example of a damaged roof. Now, we partner with licensed contractors to remedy these conditions. The first step is to tear off the entire roof system down to the decking. If there is damaged decking, it is replaced. Next, a weatherproof barrier is placed over the decking, but underneath the shingles to create a weatherproof seal for the inhabitants inside. Finally, the shingles are installed, leaving the resident with a sound roof that should serve them for years to come. The emergency repair program has goals that are aimed at addressing serious safety threats that affect the immediate livability of the home. This is also a grant program, which means there is no payback obligation. There's a maximum of $10,000 per fiscal year per resident, and the repairs are limited to such items as lack of heating and cooling, lack of adequate plumbing, or lack of electricity. It also encompasses modifications that are ADA qualified, such as ramps, grab bars, and like ADA toilets. Here's an example of an HVAC system that is weathered and non-functioning. With the use of community development block grant funds, this resident was able to take advantage of the program and get a new, warranted, and functioning system. This resident was able to update their electrical panel, or what some may refer to as a breaker box, with the use of the same community development block grant funds. Faulty water heaters, leaking fixtures, and faulty plumbing are also covered for repair under the emergency repair program. And as stated before, ADA modifications such as grab bars and ADA height toilets will qualify under the emergency repair program. Now I'd like to turn it over to Armando to discuss the major housing rehabilitation program.
Thank you, Mario. Chair Laurie, members of the commission, I'd like to thank you guys for giving us the platform to discuss our programs today. So I am here today to talk about the Major Housing Rehabilitation Program. The Major Housing Rehabilitation Program shares all the same goals that Mario had previously discussed. We also have one additional goal, and that's to help make improvements to the home that will reduce the energy consumption of the home. Also, making repairs that will contribute to the health of its occupants. So assistance is provided through a deferred loan. The program can provide home repairs for up to $80,000. The loan is a zero-interest loan. 50% of the loan is forgivable at the 3-year anniversary of the project completion. The loan does have some conditions. Repairs cannot exceed 50% of the home's value. There will be a lien placed on the property, and co-op, mobile homes, and reverse mortgages are not permitted through this program. So I'd like to talk a little bit on how we determine what the project scope of work will be. We complete a series of pre-construction testing. The first thing that we do is have a home performance audit completed on the property. We have a vendor by the name of Power Down America that will come out and check the current efficiency of doors, windows, mechanical equipment. They'll also check the attic insulation to determine if there's enough there, and other components of the home. They'll compile a report, submit that to our office with their findings and recommendations. If the homeowner indicates that there is plumbing issues at the property, we will have a licensed plumber come out and inspect the drain lines. And again, submit a report to our office with their findings and recommendations. We also complete lead-based paint testing on properties built prior to 1978. That's required by HUD. We also complete an environmental review, also required by HUD prior to the start of the project. Once we have all that information in front of us, we meet with the homeowner to discuss the results. I also personally walk the property with the homeowner to see if there's any additional items that need to be addressed through the program. And I will have a conversation with the homeowner to see what their wants are as well. So we will try to incorporate that onto the scope of work. So that gets written in consultation with the homeowner. Once we have the scope of work finalized, we will award the project to a contractor through a competitive bid. Once the contractor has been awarded the project, we will set a start date once all the loan documents and the contracts are signed for the project. The contractor will have 60 days to complete the project once that has all been finalized. Prior to completion of the project, we will have a post-construction audit of the property to make sure that our goals were met. So I'd like to run through a project that we completed earlier this year that I feel is a good demonstration of the desired outcomes for not only our program, but also our homeowners. So a little bit about the home. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It was built in 1961. The home tested positive for lead-based paint in several exterior areas of the property. The windows were single pane and all original. Electrical wiring did not meet current code. The HVAC ductwork had leakage throughout. The bedrooms had high room pressures. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit. The drain lines had heavy mineral buildups, thus they were slow draining. Attic had inadequate insulation. The front and back patio did not meet code. The flooring, the carpeted areas of the home were all soiled and heavily damaged. The sliding glass door did not meet code for properties with the swimming pool. And the kitchen appliances were inoperable, and the cabinetry had seen better days as well. So here we have a couple before and after photos. The top photo shows the original single pane windows. We replaced those with dual pane windows, energy efficient windows rated for the Southwest climate region. You can see the wooden framing around the windows. The paint there tested positive for lead, so we removed that hazard. Also, several of the patio posts tested positive for lead, so we addressed that as well. You can also see that we put a fresh coat of paint per the homeowner's request on the exterior of the property. Next, we added insulation to the attic to bring the home to an R value of 38. We repaired all damaged drywall that was contributing to higher energy costs. So heating and cooling was escaping into the attic through the damaged drywall, so we repaired that, as you can see in the photo below. The top photo here is a photo of a jump duct. These were installed in each of the bedrooms. So the home had higher than normal room pressures. A little bit about room pressures. They can force the air conditioner to work harder to cool the home and circulate the home, thus shortening the lifespan, potentially shortening the lifespan of the air conditioner. So we installed jump ducts in, as I mentioned, all 3 of the bedrooms. We installed ceiling fans in the dining room, living room, and master bedroom with the purpose of helping lower the energy costs to cool the home during the summertime. The electrical wiring was replaced throughout. We also removed the battery-operated smoke detectors and installed hardwired smoke detectors that meet current code. We removed the carpeting in the carpeted areas and replaced that with durable vinyl plank flooring and put a fresh coat of paint on the interior walls of the property. For the bathrooms, we made some modifications to help improve the accessibility of the home, helping the client age in place. Here you can see the shower has a grab bar just outside of the shower and one inside of the shower again to improve accessibility. And you see a raised toilet there as well. So the kitchen, we did quite a bit of work here. The top photo, you can see the inoperable appliances that I referenced earlier and the cabinetry that's original to the home. The bottom photo, it's a little bit hard to tell, but you can see a mop there and a plunger. I'd mentioned earlier that the homeowner had mentioned issues with drainage. The kitchen faucet also had several leaks, so that needed to be addressed as well. Here you can see we provided modern cabinets and countertops and stainless steel energy efficient appliances. We replaced the stove, oven, dishwasher, refrigerator, and range vent. And bottom picture, you can see it's a new sink and faucet. We also descaled the drain lines to help improve with drainage to the property. Lastly, we installed a smile on the homeowner's face when we completed the project and turned the home back over to the homeowner. So next, I'd like to talk about how to qualify for our programs. First, you must meet the income guidelines set forth by HUD. You must be a Scottsdale resident. You must live and own the home for a minimum of 12 months. And you must be current on your mortgage and property taxes. Those are the big ones there. Also, liquid assets cannot exceed $50,000. Here are the stats for fiscal year 24-25. These are all unduplicated households that were assisted through the program. For emergency, total of 38 unduplicated. Roof, 11, and major housing rehabilitation, 4. The total funds expended across all 3 programs is $917,067.51. To market the program, in Scottsdale Life, we have in the fall edition, we are frequently featured there. All our programs that are administered from the Housing and Community Assistance Office. We were recently featured on the Vintage Voice podcast. And when budget permits, we also insert a flyer to all of City of Scottsdale residents' water bill promoting our programs. So next, I'll turn it back to Mario so you can discuss a day in the life of a rehab specialist.
Thank you, Armando. Chair Lori, members of the commission, I'm sure you guys are all wondering, how does it happen? What do we do? So we'll take you through a day in the life. Well, what's on the agenda for today? When we get here, we hit the ground running. We start the day by firing up our computers, getting into our systems, and getting logged in so that we can access all the pertinent information for our daily tasks. This includes logging into Neighborly, getting ready for our SAMs and government checks, making sure all of our contractors are still in the good graces of the government. This is followed by making callbacks and answering emails to interested residents, program participants, contractors, and social workers to provide client statuses. Next, we dive right into case research, writing scopes of work, composing environmental reviews, conducting contractor background checks, solving problems and maybe some disagreements between participants and contractors, and doing what we normally refer to as crisis intervention. Next, we engage in inspections, monitor case construction, conduct our system inputs. We engage in meetings with our supervisors, do brainstorming and little huddles, and then we address any unforeseen circumstances that kind of rear their heads. At the end of the day, we conduct debriefings, case preparation for the upcoming day, and of course, the obligatory other duties as assigned. Now, we're available for any questions if you have any.
I'm looking to Vice Chair Cooley.
What makes you think I would have a question? Thank you, Chair Lurie. I do have just a few questions, and I will be quick, I promise. Slide 5, if I could. I've never seen that roof elevation before, where it dips down. That's amazing. Can you imagine what that's like today in the wet weather?
Oh, let's...
Oh, you don't have to jump back, but okay, if you insist. Yeah, anywhere in
Just
there.
to get
Look
up
at-
there.
I was like,
Oh, yes.
wow, I would get drenched with that, but that's really cool. Do you have a roofer referral program, folks that would be more inclined to do up to $20,000 worth of work, or is it?
Chair Lori, members of the commission, unfortunately, we don't refer out to private residents. However, what we would do is refer them to the Register of Contractors to make sure that there's a contractor that they've selected, that the resident would select, would be,
ROC?
yes, sir.
Perfect. Oh, that's great. Slide 17, you don't have to skip it. How assistance is provided. You mentioned co-ops, mobile homes, reverse mortgages. What about ADUs? Do we know it? I mean, any ADUs are probably going to be fairly new at this point, but do we know if they're covered within the maintenance program or not?
Chair Lori, members of the commission, I would defer to Armando and to my supervisor, Chad Booker, for that.
Chair Lori, members of the commission, Commissioner Cooley. The ADUs, it's going to be a part of the main residence, so if it's not attached or up to code, we would not address it. So it would actually not be included with a roof repair or an emergency, and then it would be based on inspection for the major rehab program.
Gotcha. Thank you. It sounded like most of the lead paint was limited to wood. Is that typical? I don't know.
No, it's typically limited to surface areas with paint. So it's lead-based paint is what we commonly find. There's been actually quite a few cases where it's baked into the tile.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's ceramic tile, and think of a shower surround. If that's the case, it's not an issue for our program. We can move forward with it without having to abate that because it's baked into the product versus being just strictly on the surface, which can become airborne and potentially a hazard.
That's horrible. Good, good. Thanks for spelling that out for me. Are the homeowners, do they stay within the home during the rehab? I guess it depends upon how.
Most do.
Most?
So
Okay.
the program does not cover for them to stay elsewhere throughout the construction process unless there is a serious issue that needs to be addressed. If that's the case, then we'll place them at the we'll place them in a hotel for a set period of time until the issue is resolved, and then once that's taken care of, they can move back into the property. Some homeowners have a good support system and they stay elsewhere throughout the construction process. As you can imagine, these projects can go for up to 60 days, so it can become a little bit uncomfortable for the homeowner.
Gotcha.
Typically, we are motivated to get them done as quickly as possible. Contractor has the same motivation, so we try to get them done sooner, but things happen, unforeseen items, and that could push the project out a little bit.
Very good. Two more quick questions. Water bill insert, love that idea. Does that apply to the online payments as well? Is there a pop-up?
I don't believe so. I think this is strictly the mailer, but I will defer to Chad Booker.
Chair Lori, members of the commission, Commissioner Cooley, there's no pop-up on the online,
Okay.
but it's an insert in the paper bill.
Right. I was just thinking, wouldn't that be cool too? But, you know,
I
whatever.
would, yeah.
Yeah. And one last question, Your Honor. Are there, Mario Armando, are there volunteer opportunities, or is this so more involved from the contractor side that you wouldn't want us out there?
So, I'm sorry, I failed to address the commissioner earlier properly, so my apologies.
Oh, yeah, I don't care.
Chair
That's
Lori,
fine.
members of the commission, for these programs, these are federally funded, so there's very strict guidelines on who we
Gotcha.
can use to complete the work. Reese Miller will be talking to you about Operation Fix-It. They do use volunteers, so he'll be happy to share that information when
Very
he's up
good.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Armando, Mario, that presentation was outstanding. And I appreciate the graphics showing us sort of the before and after. It really is impressive work. And Chad, I know you've been hands-on with housing rehab for many years, and historically this is perhaps my favorite use of CDBG funds. It has an amazing impact on our housing stock. If you can imagine dozens of properties being brought up to code or accessibility standards over, multiple decades, we have made a substantial difference in our housing stock and the quality of life for our residents in Scottsdale. And I thank you very much, and Chad, you too, for shepherding this program. It's a wonderful program, and it's one of the best things we can do with CDBG dollars. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
I echo the comments about the quality of your presentation was fabulous, and the illustrations were wonderful. I'm stuck on the $80,000. Are you telling me that all that work was done in that home for $80,000 or less?
For this home, yes, we are hard capped at the 80,000. This home, actually, there were some unforeseen items. To begin with, the electrical, we knew it was going to be an issue, but not to the extent that it was, so that when we come across an issue like that, we have to revisit the scope of work. And the scope of work is comprised of many items that are necessary for the program, to complete through the program for us to meet our goals. And then there's also items that we consider not necessary, nice to have items. So when we come across an unforeseen item that has to be addressed, it's a code issue or a health and safety issue, we will review the scope of work with the homeowner and determine what can be removed so we can make sure that we get the necessary items completed. So we did run into that scenario with this project. In addition, so one thing that I failed to mention earlier as well is there's a lot of teamwork within our office. So for this project, not only did the major housing rehab touch that project, Mario, through the emergency repair program and the roof replacement program, also touched that property. Mario replaced the roof through emergency repair. He also replaced the HVAC system, which is those two items are big budget killers. So he addressed that through the emergency repair program because it was inoperable at the time of inspection, so that was deemed an emergency item, a true emergency item. Reese Miller, I did my best not to photograph the amount of items that the homeowner had in the property. All that needed to be cleared before we could begin construction, so homeowner having limited funds, the only place that she could do that was in the back patio or the carport. As the project went along, she decided that she didn't need many of those items, which happens quite a bit. So Reese, through Operation Fix It, was able to help us secure a roll-off dumpster. He and I went out to the property and personally moved a bunch of the items into that, set the items aside so they could be discarded. So we all worked together to meet our goals.
Well, I applaud the collaboration that delivered such magnificent results. I have one more question, and it's about the loan forgiveness. So 50% of the loan is forgivable after the 3rd anniversary of the job. Is this contingent on the homeowner having made payments without interruption for those 3 years?
So there's no payments. Payments are deferred. We look for our payment upon transfer of title. The condition for that 50% forgiveness is the homeowner remain in the home for that 3-year period. They don't rent any portion, the home is not rented or any portion of the home is rented. Those are disqualifiers for that 50% forgiveness event. Other than that, it's just stay in the home, not be the sole owner, but be the owner of the property, and that would qualify you for the 50% forgiveness.
Okay, at what point then does the homeowner begin to make payments on that remaining 50% of the debt?
They don't make a payment until transfer of title. If they choose to pay off the loan, they can do that at any time. So we don't look for monthly payments. It's if the homeowner sells the property, that's going to trigger a transfer of title. That's when the city looks for their portion of.
Okay, so that could stay outstanding for 20 years?
Correct.
Okay,
As long
thank
as they
you.
stay in the home and don't rent a portion of it, yeah. Correct.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Chair Laurie, members of the commission, just a little bit more on those loans. All the loan paybacks go directly back into the program. It's considered a revolving loan, which is, we generate program income. So currently we have over 200 open liens out there. And as properties change title, we receive that program income to further fund the housing rehab program.
Excellent. Commissioner Jameson?
Thank you, Chair. Great presentation. Really appreciate it. So a couple things. With the roof program, or all these programs, is this a situation where the homeowner approaches us, or do we have code officers and other caseworkers out there who may approach a homeowner and say your roof is compromised, or things look a little rugged here and you could use some help? How do you get people involved in the program?
I can do it. So all of the above. So we do receive referrals from code enforcement. This roof here that you see on the picture was a referral from code enforcement. A lot of our clients come from word of mouth. We assist a client in the neighborhood. They're appreciative of the help, and they help us spread the word about our programs. We receive referrals from social workers at the senior centers. From wherever, we will help them.
Okay, that's great. And then with the work that you do, I know you identify lead as a hazard. Do you look for asbestos and popcorn ceilings and those types of things as well?
So we're required to test for asbestos if the unit that we're going to work on shares a wall with 5 other homes. So think of the homes in the historic district or a condo. If there's 5 or more attached units, then we will test the home for asbestos.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Last question: with the $80,000 loan, are clients credit qualified in order to get that loan, or is there another process that they might get disqualified to receive it?
So the requirements for the loan, we do a credit check, but we're not looking necessarily for credit worthiness. They can have a bad credit score and still qualify for the loan. If they have outstanding liens or a judgment that a lien for unpaid property taxes would be a disqualifier, not current on their mortgage, we will have a conversation about, is there a repayment agreement in place that you have with the mortgage company? So they're not automatic disqualifiers. We have a conversation amongst the team, make a decision if we can move forward with the client or not.
Okay. All right.
Since we can't, Mary, did you have any? No. Okay. You have, okay.
Can I?
Vice Chair
Really?
Cooley, back
Thank you.
up.
I'm sorry, one last question. So if there was a solar panel on a roof, would you remove it, repair the roof and replace it? And if it was damaged, would you repair it as well?
You want to take that?
Yeah, sure, I will. Chair, Lori, members of the commission, we recently had this come up in one of our roof replacement cases. Unfortunately, we will not replace the solar panel because it doesn't affect the livability of the home. So those are one of the criteria that we need to meet prior to commencement of the project. Additionally, we wouldn't touch, because of the delicate nature and who owns what with respect to solar panels, because sometimes they are financed, we would not allow our contracted crews to go up and do any type of removal or reinstallation.
Great answer. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Hill, did you have any comments or questions?
No, actually, you're all very thorough. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. Really, this is such an extraordinary program. I hope and I pray that CDBG funds will persist to be able to continue the level of service you have provided. I also appreciate the day in the life portion of your presentation, and I know in recent years they have brought that to the commission, and it really gives us more insight and a better perspective what you do. And I'm also curious if, from your experience, do most other municipalities in the Phoenix area provide comparable programs to what the two of you do?
Yes, most cities offer similar programs. Emergency repair program, most cities have a program like that in place. There a weatherization program that's offered by Maricopa County. Quite a few cities offer these programs, yes.
Okay. Thank you to both of you.
Sorry, Mario, I got you. Okay.
All right. With that, I believe we've got Reese Miller coming up to talk about Operation Fix It.
Chair Lori, members of the commission. Thank you for giving me the time to present Operation Fix It. My name is Reese Miller. I'm a Human Services Representative 2. Operation Fix It. It works in the community with dedicated volunteers and city staff to assist qualified Scottsdale homeowners. The program helps qualified applicants with code enforcement violations, HOA violations, and city program referrals. Operation Fix It in Human Services. Last fiscal year, 24-25, Operation Fix It completed 33 unduplicated projects for homeowners. And we, on top of that, we actually had 38 projects completed. A few of those homes, we had another code violation within the same year. The referrals for those, of course, come again from code enforcement, HOA violations. Housing and community assistance can also refer clients to the program. And human services caseworkers, we work with the social workers at the senior centers quite closely. How are these projects completed? City staff, that little piece is going to be code referrals. So that's going to be us calling back the homeowner who was referred to us, reaching out and talking to any folks at the senior centers, or anybody who is referring a homeowner to Operation Fix It. Once we get them through the application process, we get to go out and inspect the property. That's where we learn the scope of work. That's how we figure out what size group of volunteers we may need to complete the project. Once we have them through the application process, that's where we start working with the individual volunteers and group volunteers as well. 1 day a week, I usually take out a small group. It happens to be mostly on Thursdays. That group can be anywhere between 1 to 4 volunteers. Sometimes we're able to take care of a whole code violation, normally a weed mitigation, something like that a smaller group can handle where we're only doing the front view of the home. As you can see in this picture that is up on the screen now, this is a group from last season, and this is a property north of Via Ventura that had the straight line winds. I think if you count in the picture, there's about 11 folks. If you look in that backyard, we basically deforested it, and look at the pile of debris and trash that is in front of these folks. That was a 3-hour project. So that's when we involved the volunteers. I'd like to give you a little bit of volunteer stats here as well. Last year we had 153 volunteers work with Operation Fix It. They completed 445.5 volunteer hours, which I think is pretty spectacular. If at that point we do not have the property up to compliance and we can't clear the code case or the HOA violation, we do use vendors. In most cases, my vendor would be an arborist to take care of any tree removal, tree trimming. We use vendors. They do our landscape spraying, pre and post emergent sprays for when we need to go in and remove the grass and the weeds. So it's teamwork all the way through. Eligibility and funding for this program is similar to the 2 programs that we brought up, the emergency repair program and the roof and replacement program. We basically have the same eligibility. The Scottsdale homeowner must live in their home for 1 year continuous before applying for assistance. It's an income eligible program, and that depends on the size of the household. And they have to have an open code case, an HOA violation, or have a city referral. Funding for Operation Fix It comes from city general funds, monetary donations, and in-kind donations. The move, yes, this was important. So November 2024, Operation Fix It moved to the Housing and Community Assistance Building, where I joined a team already in place that does like things. These 2 gentlemen, the rehab specialists. Basically, our workflow is the same, our funding is different. That's just about the biggest difference, is how we complete the project. Part of that team is a grant specialist who does our application eligibility, so that was a big help and relief to have that team member on board as well. There's many benefits to us being at the Housing and Community Assistance Office now. We took the Operation Fix It application and merged it with the emergency repair and the roof and repair program. So now if an applicant is deemed eligible, they can have help from all 3 programs, which is another one of the benefits. Most of the folks in the program are using at least 2 of the programs, if not 3. We do have a case open right now where we do have a homeowner that's getting the roof and repair portion done. She's already had the emergency repair, and we have moved in and taken care of a code violation. So many benefits there for us moving to the new office. City partners, Operation Fix-It couldn't do what we do without our city partners. So first of all, that's code enforcement. That's where we get the bulk of our referrals are from code enforcement. They will reach out to me and say a homeowner has stated that they are unable to financially take care of the code violation. So that's where we jump on board. The South Courtyard provides me a place to park 2 enclosed trailers, which hold all the tools for Operation Fix-It. The North Courtyard provides me a slip where I can dump debris. If we do a smaller job during the week and we have a pickup load or 2 of lawn clippings or debris, exterior junk, they allow me to dump it at the North Courtyard. Solid Waste is a huge partner. We deal with some hoarding situations where we come up and support the social workers through the senior center. So we're able to provide a roll-off through the solid waste program. They do not charge us for delivery or pickup. We just pay for the tonnage, which is a huge help, not to Operation Fix-It alone, but even to the senior centers and the social workers. So that's very important. Social workers, as I just mentioned, they reach out quite a bit. Some of the HOA referrals come through the senior center and social workers because the homeowners don't know where to turn. So they're reaching out to the senior centers, social workers. They get them in touch with us. We have had 2 cases where the referral came from the police department. So that's also a partner of ours. Upcoming collaborations. This is exciting. The past couple years we've been working with Desert Botanical Gardens. We vet a property and provide it to them. As you see in the slide, on my right, your right, I guess, too. That's the group from Desert Botanical Gardens. So the property that we provide, they use it for 3 weeks. On Saturdays they come, they have to do a certain criteria to pass the class. So in this case, we shared in the project with them. Operation Fix-It paid for a backflow preventer approved by the city water department. We paid to have it installed by a vendor, and we also supplied the irrigation clock for this project. So again, we'll do that project with those folks this year. Rebuilding together. Last year we did 1 property together. The reason for this collaboration and partnership is they are able to go inside the home, and Operation Fix-It does not. Operation Fix-It only deals with exterior home code cases which can be seen from the road. So moving forward with this collaboration, it's going to be October 27th, coming up in a couple weeks. This year we're doing 3 yards together, super exciting. Operation Fix-It's part in these 3 yards are going to be what we call Rock the Yard. These yards have grass lawns that are basically just dirt now. We're going to remove the grass and the weeds. We are going to bring in the rock for these 3 yards. Unbelievably, this is going to happen simultaneously. All 3 projects are going to fire up in the morning at 7:30, and hopefully we're going to be done by 1:30 in the afternoon. But so having rebuilding together is important because they can do some improvements inside the home and do some beautifications on the outside of the home. Operation Fix-It, we just deal with code violations and bringing the property back into compliance. We don't do beautifications, replantings, anything like that. So this group will be able to come in and do some of that for these homeowners. So I'm excited for them. Also, with Rock the Yard, we're going to, like I said, we're going to remedy the code violation that they currently have, but we're also working on water conservation and just the blighted properties. The whole block is going to be excited to see this happen. Okay, we're also doing a typical day with OFI. So it starts in the morning. Email city contacts, that could be getting back to code enforcement officers that left me a referral. Could be dealing with social workers, senior centers, that type of thing. Later in the morning, calls to homeowners, code referral outreach, chasing down some of those referrals that might have came the evening before. I meet with the grant specialist to get updates on applicant eligibility. Staff special requests, that changes every week. This week we happen to be dealing with Fall Festival where we're pitching in to build a little prop for the event. So that's what staff special request was this week. We do applicant office visits. We set aside a little bit of time every week for the folks to come in if they're struggling with the application. We sit down and help them. We get rehab team updates. I can check in with the other guys, see if we have any shared clients. Have they been out on their initial inspection? You know, did they happen to see what might be Operation Fix-It's involvement? Then we go out and we do field inspections. Once the application is deemed eligible, we go out there and see what we're dealing with firsthand. We read the code violations, HOA violations, come up with a plan to get them back in compliance. Volunteer project planning, that's pretty important. When you're doing 2 projects a week, you're constantly talking to volunteers, trying to get everything set up. We got to onboard the volunteers. We need a group leader to be vetted with the city before they can be part of their big group. The rest of the people who are going to partake in the event that day just sign a little waiver. It's now online through Better Impact. Volunteer communication, got to make sure everybody's going to be able to be there on Thursday, so there again. And at the end of the day, what we're going to do is we got to update the calendar because that never stays the same. You never know what's going to happen during the day, so a lot of times that's not the same, and we schedule inspections for the week to come. One thing I maybe didn't go over clear enough with you folks is, and I'd like just to take a minute to touch on it. So we do only work on the exterior of the home. And the code cases, so basically the jobs that are going to be Operation Fix-It eligible are going to be just code violations or HOA violations. So we got Zero Escape, Rock the Yard, so that's where we're going to have a lawn that has deteriorated and it's mostly dirt. We do tree trimming, tree removal, landscape cleanup, exterior junk removal, that seems to be a big one lately. Those are the main HOA violations that we help take care of. We do have some new handouts, flyers. We do have, we're waiting for our flyers to come out, but on a couple of the slides, you may see them up on the side, as this one is here. We have QR codes. This just came from graphics this week, and we were able to get it up on the slide. So we're really excited. We were part of the podcast as well. And so anyway, we're just really looking forward to this season. And I guess at that, I will open it up to questions.
All right. Vice Chair Cooley, I was going to look the other way for questions first, but your hand is up, so
yeah, thank
please
you.
go for
I
it.
appreciate that. Reese, thanks for all that you do, and to you and Armando for helping with the clutter bugs. Having had hoarders in my family, I can appreciate all that you do. I know that's not always an easy job. Just one quick question. The flyers, when they're available, I assume they'll be on the website, so we can share those as well?
Yes, there will be an electronic copy on the website. We will take them to the senior centers. We will display them in certain places, maybe some library might get a few. We're going to provide the code officers themselves with a half-page flyer, which has a QR code directly to the application so that when they're dealing with the homeowner that they just don't have a business card to hand them, they actually have a way to get to the link on the portal. So
that's great, and I assume you'll be represented at All Things Seniors Expo in February. So.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up. One other thing I did want to say that we're really excited about too, it happens to be October 27th after the collaboration with Rebuilding Together. We have a chance to have a table at Wimby, What's in My Backyard. It's a new thing that's going on to give Scottsdale homeowners throughout the city an idea of the resources available. It's going to be the first of 3, and it's going to be on the north end of town. They have them, one on the north end of town, the next one's going to be more centrally located, and then the third and final is going to be on the south side of town. So anyway, that's new. That's coming up, and we're really excited about having a chance to be there as well. And we'll also have the information for the rehab programs on that table as well.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Commissioner Scherer?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Reese, great presentation. Thank you so much for this program, for your enthusiasm. It's awesome.
Thank you.
What's the sort of typical turnaround from the time you get an application until a project may start and be completed?
Yes, Chair Lurie, members of the commission, great question. Pretty quick, actually. It can be very quick. Like right now, I have a few groups on board waiting. I let them select a date, and then I pair them with a project. So after application completion, we can probably get out there within 2 weeks.
Wow, that is fast. Thank you.
And probably on the outside of that would be a month. But you know, being a code case, we got to move as quick as we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just one other sort of question. Some of the clients that we serve obviously are unable to take care of their yard themselves or economically can't hire somebody to do that. So we go in and do a one-time cleanup and erase the code enforcement violation. I mean, do you see these requests come back on the same property, and how is that handled?
Yes, Commissioner Laurie, member of the commission, yes, we do see that. In fact, that's how we came up with the 38 total projects. 5 of those homes got another code violation within the year. If the folks are advanced in age or have mobility issues or any other reason that they can't participate in the yard, there's a lot of times we do go back within the same year. Now, if it's past the 6-month period, we are going to ask them to reapply again, just how it has to be. But yes, we do. We visit yards 2-3 times a year sometimes. Just depends on the weather patterns and how things go. If we spray a yard and it, you know, rains too soon afterwards, you know, we're back out there shortly again.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Reese, nice work. We really appreciate it. With the code violation or HOA issues, you know, they could be facing fines with particular deadlines. If they have an active application, does that buy them the time past a potential sanctioning?
Chair Laurie, members of the commission, great question. Yes, it does. If they're actively working on the application, they don't even have to be through the application process. I can reach out to the code officer, tell them we're working together, ask for, you know, an extended period of time. A lot of times the homeowners will receive their letter within a few days of the reinspection time. And yes, that's why we have a code violation, HOA violation stipulation with this program. It's because we do want to address those folks receiving fines and fees or potentially receiving fines and fees before helping a homeowner that's not in that situation. So that's a great question. And yes, we can buy some time.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
And one other question. Could you revisit the collaborative work that's going on the 27th of this month? Like, it kind of got past me.
Sure, no problem. Yes, so that's going to be Rebuilding Together. And so they're an operation that do hundreds of yards a year. Last year, they wanted to get into the Scottsdale area, so they reached out to me. This year, their corporate volunteers are all going to be upper management of Lowe's. And the way we're going to get these 3 jobs done is they're going to be bringing between 60 and 80 volunteers to these 3 properties. They're bringing in a mobile restroom trailer that needs to be operated with a generator. So this is a pretty big deal, and it's a good chance for me to see how these partnerships, sponsorships are working, and maybe we can attain some of that ourselves moving forward. But yeah, no, they just reached out, and so what we did is we vetted the homeowners, got them through our eligibility process for the application, which is similar to what they would have asked for anyway. And we drove around, and we had 3 or 4 or 5 yards for them to look at. They picked the 3 closest. And like I said, they will be bringing some interior upgrades and doing some things outside the home that we wouldn't normally do. So that's why we're so excited to work with them. Did that answer your question?
Quite well. Thank you.
Okay, you bet.
Yep. Commissioner Hill, your opportunity if you have any questions.
Yes, I actually do. First of all, I'm just curious. I work with a nonprofit called Neighbors Helping Neighbors, and I do believe that they work with Operation Fix-It. Am I correct in that?
Chair Laurie, members of the commission, yes. This year, to be very transparent, we have not collaborated on anything yet, but yes, last year we did work together. And they have been a partner of Operation Fix-It for many years and do good things for us. They bring us quite a few resources themselves, yes. Great question.
Oh, wonderful. I'm very happy to hear that. I really do like that organization. And also, you recently, I think, have transferred and moved from code enforcement, has moved from planning and development, I think, to the police department. Does that affect how any of your operations run now that it's under the police department, code enforcement versus planning and development?
Chair Lori, members of the commission, so far, we haven't seen that affect the relationship at all. I do plan to take the new marketing that we got from graphics, and we're going to have a meeting. I'm going to schedule a meeting with them just to brief them on what we're doing, just to get us all back on the same page. So, but yes, their move to the police station so far has not affected any of the ability to work with them.
I'm hoping it will help, is where I was going with that, because I mean, I can only speak personally from my husband, who is a police officer, who has said, I would just love it if code enforcement would be put under the police, because I think that would help us really get more of these people helped. So I was hoping that maybe you would be seeing a positive, a positive gain from that.
Chair Lori, members of the commission. Oh yeah, nothing negative for sure. I just haven't seen much change in referrals, but we are coming out of the summer season. So, referrals do slow down quite a bit during the summer. It's just so hot and so dry that even if the weeds grow, they die quick, and almost blow away on their own. So as we move forward with the rain that we're getting today, yes, we're going to have be inundated with a lot of code violations. So yeah, we probably will see that uptick. I do know that the folks are in maybe a little better communication, actually, now that you bring that up. Looking back, I guess I do receive maybe 1 or 2 more emails a week.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Reese, I really appreciate your enthusiasm and perseverance in keeping this program going. As I listened to the presentations today, I think so representative of everything in human services in the city is offered with compassion, and yours is a perfect example where instead of saying to somebody, you've got a code violation, go fix it, and they could be an elderly person that's homebound, we're going to help, we're going to come in and help you resolve this issue. So thank you. It's really important for our residents. I had just 2 quick questions. You said the Housing and Community Assistance Office, that is Paiute, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Building 8 at Paiute, you bet.
Okay.
Yep.
And then how are you doing recruiting volunteers for your program? Is there additional need to recruit volunteers?
We haven't ever been short on volunteers yet. We do have corporate groups that come back every year, so we have a pretty good residual. We probably have between 15 and 20 groups that I can count on coming back. I have a few faith groups that will do up to 5 projects a year. So we do have enough volunteers, maybe now with the weather we're getting. But how we do recruit them is in the past we have sent out flyers. We were on the podcast. We're going to be doing WIMBY. Unfortunately, right now, the marketing isn't as robust as it needs to be, but that's a goal of ours moving forward.
All right. Thank you so much. I turn my microphone off. This is a point to identify future agenda items. We all received an email from Mary Witkowski the other day about Proposition 314. I've asked Mary, and I think she's going to clarify and address it in her director's report at our next commission meeting 2 weeks from tonight, which is, I'm not even sure what the date is, the 23rd. With that, are there any other agenda items we want raised? Seeing none, in that case, I could take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved?
Seconded.
All right, and a roll call?
Chair Lurie?
Yes?
Vice Chair Cooley?
Yes.
Commissioner Scheer?
Yes.
Commissioner Jung?
Yes.
Commissioner Hill?
Yes.
Commissioner Rowe?
Yes.
Commissioner Jameson?
Yes. Yes.
We are adjourned.